Hi everyone. Welcome to FEW weekly live stream. I'm Ines, co-founder of FEW, and today I'm really pleased to have Claudius as our guest. Claudius actually is an experienced investor, PE investor, and you will be able to answer any questions you may have. So don't hesitate to submit your questions just in the comment section. We will try to answer them at the end of the live. Hi, Claudius, how are you?
Good, I'm good. Hi everyone.
It's your second live stream with us. It means you really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, I did. I think it's quite interesting to use the live show to chat with members, and hopefully my answer help them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We received great feedback from that first session. So today we again selected 3 of our members who will be joining us and ask their question directly to Claudius, so you can also learn basically from their own struggles. And if you want to complement what they're saying or ask anything, don't hesitate to comment on the section below. So Claudius, maybe for those who were not with us last week, do you want to refresh everyone's memory? What do you do? What's your background?
Sure. I'm a PE VC investor for quite a while. I mean, my day job is to manage a private equity fund that I've been working on for the past about 20 years. And my actually hobby, I would say weekend, is allow me work on some startup company. Yes, I also have some personal investment that are more on the VC stage in a different industry. And I mean, I really enjoy to work with the entrepreneur to discuss with their business model, how to define it, and hopefully, I mean, that can be my retirement.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll make more startup founders successful as well. So, okay, before our members ask their question, which area can you help them the most? What kind of the questions they should ask you, and you can bring some answers to them?
I think for my MBA training, we believe that all business actually have some fundamental principles that should be, I mean, shared. And no matter what kind of business, what kind of industry, actually share the same set of, I mean, problems, and hopefully, I mean, the problems can be solved by those principles. So I think, I mean, I'm more focused on the business model, more focused on asking questions. I mean, to let the entrepreneur rethink about their niche on their companies, because I think I mean, obviously I'm not as I mean, just by chatting or just by looking at materials, I'm not the guy that fully understands the entrepreneur or the startup as good as the founders. But I mean, hopefully by asking those questions and let them to rethink their business model and let them to redefine it. I mean, redo it, and it can be more competitive in the market.
Absolutely, I agree. It's really useful. So don't hesitate to ask your questions in the comment section. So we're going to be welcoming our very first FW member, Lucy, and Lucy will introduce her business and ask anything to Claudius. Hi, Lucy.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Good, and you?
Good.
Good. Okay, so thank you for your time. So my name is Lucy. I'm French, and I've been working in the food and beverage industry for more than 8 years. So working for a French group. And now I decided to open my own business last year. So my business partner and myself launched a business called Grazing. Grazing is a food importer and distributor of products specialized in edible insects, insect-based products. So most of our products are imported from France, and we offer everything from premium snacks, cricket flour, protein powder, pasta, energy bars, and and many other products. Mm-hmm. Our goal is to offer an alternative to traditional protein, such as beef or chicken, by incorporating insect protein on people's daily basis diets. So now we are selling mostly online. 85% of our business and monthly turnover comes from the online sales. And our goal is to develop also the wholesales. The wholesales, because at the moment it is only 50% of the monthly turnover. So to give you an idea, the private customer we sell online, so everybody can buy our product online. It will be like locals and foreigners, I would say 50-50. And also for B2C, the wholesale parts, we target hotels, restaurants, food retail shops, gym center, co-working spaces, and many other potential customers I can buy. But our goal is to make volume, of course, and to be able to sell to food professionals. So my question is, because we are selling food and the goal is to make people taste our products. So at the moment we can't organize any events, tasting. So it's really hard to introduce insects because it's a niche product and it's new to people. They really need to try before buying or even discover it, because there is an educational way also. So how can I find? So my question is, what do you recommend to find much more customer online and new potential customer in general, because we can't do events? Yeah.
Right. So when you say 50-50, you have a local 50%, foreigners 50%. Do you find what's the common characteristics of your customers?
I would say they are young professionals who are open-minded to try new food. Maybe they've been buying, I don't know, plant-based food before, or they really are open to find a new food source that are more sustainable and good for health and good for the planet. So I would say young professional. I also have teachers because they want to show their class, the kids, the food of the future. So I have also a lot of teacher buying. After it's what I sell is still a discovery for people. So they are buying. They are buying at the beginning to really try and make their people around them to discover and try insects. Basically, it's really new. So yeah.
So how many of them are repeated customers?
I will say percentage 5%. 5%. It's very low. So each time, because it's a new product, each time the customer, I need to renew the customer base and make them and find new customers, because they try, they want to discover, but they don't buy again. Basically. So my goal is to really make it sustainable and have more people buying and buy again. But
I see. So by having 5% repeated customers, that means most of your customers are actually the first-time buyer.
Yes.
And so I think at this stage, probably, I mean, even myself, I mean, I didn't ever try, I mean, the insect products, but I'd love to. So I think the key is how you develop a new market. And just as you said, I mean, lots of teachers are actually interesting, because I'm sure, I mean, for the teacher that are teaching the insect class or are teaching, I mean, biology, I mean, they would love to show the products to their class. And I mean, that will be very interesting. And I think, I mean, try to partner with some more modern hotel. And I think for some really cheap hotels, they will think, I mean, this is some good ideas. And so for your corporate customers, I mean, what's the repeated rate? Are it more or less the same as the individuals?
Yes. No, for professional, at the moment, so it's only 50% of the monthly turnover total. But for the wholesale, I will say no, they repeat. They repeat order. So this is why I want to develop wholesales, because it's clear that this is where I can have a sustainable business growing and a repeat order. So,
right. So what's the common characteristics of those repeated corporate customers?
Sorry, pardon?
what's the common characteristic of those with corporate customers?
The common, actually, they don't have, it's like different. I have one shops, I have co-working spaces. So the purpose of the product I work with them, I sell, are not the same at all. For example, for co-working spaces, I work with energy bars, so their clients can eat protein and energy bars. And for example, I work with a wine shop, and they sell raw insects with the wine. So it's like totally different, different segments. Different segment. So at the moment, I wanted to ask you also, what do you think of our business, because it's very niche and it's very new, grazing in Hong Kong. So for entrepreneur in general, with the sanitary crisis, that is happening now, what do you think for entrepreneur like me trying to launch a very brand new product? Do you think there is a potential on the long term, or is it too new and people are not ready, maybe?
I would say probably to individuals, that's actually quite new, because I believe probably top 1% or 5% actually are very, entrepreneurial, in the sense that even on their eating habits, that they can accept the insects energy bar. But I think what you can do, or when you look back to your corporate customers, I would say you probably find that, the one who pay you is actually not the one that consume the bar. If you think that this is the case, actually what you need to find is try to find more, very hip or very modern, very wow, corporates, because for them, they want to attract their customers. And sometimes they actually are giving them for free, but they will buy from you. So the paying customers actually is not the ultimate consumer. So, but this is actually a very interesting concept. If I actually go to a restaurant, or actually they told me that, okay, we have 8 dishes, but the last one is actually made by insects, and you can try, for free. Then, for them, that's something that, they can do the market. But whether all the people are actually like it or not, that's another issue. So I think try to find those wow, restaurant, wow, the co-working space. And then because for them, they want something new, they want something interesting. So I think that's probably is the way to do, because the niche product, if you do the B2C marketing, actually you need to spend a lot in order to attract that 0.01% customers, and repeated orders is not that great. At least from the figures that you told me. So I would say probably go for the B2B first, and then because for the corporates, the spending for them on this special food is actually quite minimal in their whole budget. But at the end, it can be very interesting.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, very good advice. Thank you very much. Is it?
Great. Thank you so much, Claudius. I think you really helped Lucy. And I'm really happy to see that she has some answers and hopefully can implement this new strategy on her business. Next, I would like to welcome Roman to the studio, and she will introduce herself.
Hi, Claudius. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Roman.
Thank you for having me today. That's really nice. So perhaps I can start a bit more about myself and therapy nutrition. So for myself, I grew up in Singapore. I'm French, but I'm still based in Singapore. And I have a background in the finance industry. But for the last years, I've been dealing with some hormonal imbalance. So I've been searching some cures and some therapies around it. And that's how I dive in nutrition and plants, and what would you be able to do with plants and natural extract and vitamins and mineral and so on. And so that's how I had the idea of therapy nutrition. So therapy nutrition, what we do is that we do supplements that are completely different by their form, ingredients, and the packaging, because we wanted to be a sustainable company. So we work, for example, only with sustainable ingredients, which are plant-based, 100% organic. And for the form, we wanted something a bit more different than the boring pill form. So that's why we are working with gummies form supplements. And for the packaging, we are a sustainable company, so we don't use any plastic in our packaging. And we are also looking forward to launch some refills, so you can refill your little pack of gummies. So that's a bit it. And we're launching the product in October during a crowdfunding. So yeah, I think my question was, because at the start, what I wanted to do, it was more a B2B company. I wanted to sell my supplements, for example, for the yoga institutions, or massage and spa and hairdresser. So that would be more a niche. But now, because of the COVID situation, I'm turning more to a B2C business model. So everything is going to be online. So I wanted to know, by doing that, how I could adapt my business model, and what would be the best advice to increase the profitability of a B2C business model.
I think the reason that you change it to from B2B to B2C is because you think your potential partners actually are not operating, or it's difficult to take your products, or what?
Because they are not operating anymore. There's no, like, for example, like sports center, fitness center, and yoga centers. They are in Singapore. They are only allowed to get like 5 people at a time. So it means that there's less and less people going there. So there's less visibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was important, perhaps at first, to go more on the B2C side with more digital marketing and so on. And then perhaps with my other products, go to another, do B2B afterwards, when the situation will be a bit better and people will go out and business as usual.
Yeah, but in reality, actually, the B2B business model and a B2C business model is very different. And I mean, no matter in your packaging, no matter in your marketing strategy and your marketing budget, is also very different. So I mean, think about it. I mean, since you are in Singapore, and how you want to reach that, I mean, few million people by your online, I mean, website. And I mean, Singapore is actually, I believe, is full of I mean, the natural product that you mentioned. I mean, it's not something that actually very scared. I mean, is people can buy it online. People can grab it online, and if people already have the pattern to use it, they already got some brands that in their mind, and they have already took it for quite a long time. So you have to change the people perception, and to accept new brand actually is something that you need to prepare to work on it really hard, and with a lot of resources. So I think obviously right now is not a very good timing, or it's not the best timing to do the I mean, B2B, in the sense that what you were thinking, I mean, through the yoga institution, spa, massage center, all this. But I think if you think B2B is your original idea, I would say you probably sharpen your idea a little bit by thinking on how to, capture the market after this COVID situation. We all hope, this will pass, as soon as possible. But I think, the normal life of people will still goes on after these few months. Maybe they cannot gather, 200 people together, but they have their own way to survive. I'm sure they still have a spa center, they still have massage center, but just in the different form. So, especially on this kind of downtime, actually they would love to, discuss with you. So I would say you should take the advantage of this downtime to actually talk to them more, and actually through their distribution network to let the people try, because I think the most important elements, if your business can be successful, is after people try it, they like it. And that's the way, because if you only look at the website, every competitors of yours will say, they have a great product, they are natural, they are sustainable. We have a very environmental friendly, but unless they really like your product, it's very difficult for them to repurchase. So for those spa massage center, they can help you to distribute, to their members much more easily. And so I think try to have more patience a little bit, and but meanwhile, try to talk to them more extensively. I think for them, they also want to increase their revenue source. Before they only focus on doing their own original offering, no matter it's spa or massage or what else. But right now, I think they are also interested to explore new business line. For them, you actually have a good margin and can share with them. For them, it's much easier for the customers to try your product and actually repurchase from their known center. Because there's actually no need to have a new marketing. And another thing that if you talk to those spa or massage center, if they are in a big chain or in a big one, actually they can. You can consider, obviously it depends on the margin. You can consider whether you want to do some, I would say ODM or some brand white label for them. I think that it will be quite cool if you go to a very very good fitness center, and then after that you tell them, okay, this is some free gift that we give you. And obviously, hopefully, the fitness center pay you, but you label for them. And after an exercise, apart from the water and an apple, maybe 2 gummies that actually will help you to re-energize. That's something that you can also explore. And for you, because you are in this stage, actually, this is not particularly difficult for you to do it, and that actually may be actually another way to think about your business.
Yeah, I think white label is definitely something that is interesting because people are asking about it, and there's no technology in APAC to do those gummies. So I think it's interesting, definitely, to explore a bit more about how to do it and how to do a partnership with some yoga places, fitness centers, and hairdressers, for example.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Claudius. That was interesting.
Awesome. Thanks. I'm glad to see you made her think of something new, something different to do. We actually have male members at FW.
Great.
We are very happy to have one male member today asking questions to so Sean, please welcome.
Thanks. Hi, Claudius. Nice to meet you. I've been a friend of Anna's for like 6 years now. So I'm based in Vietnam, but I met Anna in Shenzhen many years ago, and we actually did a live speech event together once, which was a lot of fun. And currently, I'm working on a company called Sidekick. We are building a B2B SaaS. We are getting ready to launch our MVP at the end of December, and our goal is to basically compete against Slack. We're providing this kind of multiple channel system along with a full-fledged task manager and file manager. But the thing that separates us is having a virtual office space. My background is in psychology, and I've worked remotely for about 7 years now on various companies that I've owned along with other clients I've had in my private consulting life. And what I noticed for a lot of people, especially during this time, is that when a company goes remote and they're not able to interact with their coworkers and their bosses face to face, it's a lot harder for them to feel engaged. And when you lose that feeling of connection, your productivity goes down, and sometimes you can feel sad or even depressed. Mm-hmm. And so the thing that separates us from Slack is really having this two-dimensional top-down view of your office space so that you can see the chat channels, you can see where your employees are, where your coworkers are, who they're talking to at what point of the day, whether they're online or offline, things like that. So essentially we're building this visual layer, and we own our full tech stack. So we're not building for Slack, we're building to compete against Slack. All of our architecture is native and custom from scratch. So we're obviously pre-launch. And so my question for you is not how can we become more profitable, but rather how can we value ourselves going into our seed raise? Because I have an idea of what I think the company is worth, and my COO has a very, very different opinion, obviously much lower. He's trying to be more realistic. So I want to find a way to provide value to investors while getting enough money so that we're not giving away too much. Our situation until now is I've been self-funding. So we skipped a family and friends round. We skipped an angel round because I've been funding everything myself. So we're going into the seed raise, looking to raise about $2.5 million.
I see. Okay, first of all, congratulations on your success, because I think you have done quite a bit, by your own funding. So that's great. And secondly, I think there's obviously a lot of theoretical way, to value a company, no matter you use EV over EBITDA or you, take a reference of those listed company and then took a discount on that and discount cash flow. But I think all these actually you can Google yourself. You'll find the valuation tools in the internet. But I think the key, or at the end of the day, I would say VC, even sometimes a PE investment, is about negotiation. And obviously, it also depends on how quick and how urgent you need those money. You always need to trade off, because if you accept a lower valuation, actually you probably, theoretically you will get the money faster. Right. That's always the case. So you need to think of, if you get the money later, let's say 6 months down the road, will that actually slow down your growth? And or you're willing to give up a little bit on the valuation, then actually get the money come quick, and then you can roll up your company even quicker than the dilution that you have. So I think as a founder, and obviously, the company is your baby, and you really treasure it. But I think it's great that you have your partner actually told you his perspective. I think you should actually ask more people on different people's perspective, and you also need to know your funding needs. If you are actually in the coming 6 months you will do a lot and to roll up your company, then I would say probably take a little bit lower valuation and grow your company faster. That's actually is more important than just keep the valuation and then wait for another 6 months. because from what I heard, your business is actually right now is the best timing that to roll out quick. If you pass this window, I mean, either you have other competitors that came to the market, or I mean, people already used to it. I mean, in the sense that I mean, they think, because I mean, we all know that people used to something, I mean, relatively quick. I mean, after 6 months, if you ask them to go back to office, people will think, oh, I probably don't need to go back to office. But same case actually applies to your products, because after 6 months, they work alone. They probably, I mean, accept it, and the management accept it. I mean, they remotely, I mean, talk to their coworkers, talk to their colleagues. I mean, without the two-dimensional, I mean, products. So I think the key is you need to balance your funding needs as well as the valuation. But obviously, I mean, you can always ask for Phil FEW help on the business valuation. I'm sure they have those service for you.
Okay. Do you mind if I give you a little bit more details about the funding needs and the market strategy, things like that, or?
By all means.
So currently we have 9 people working full time. Our burn rate is about 20,000, and we have about 15 months of runway left. We looked at whether it would make sense to hire additional developers in order to get the MVP done faster. And we felt like with the quality of the team we have now, adding more developers wouldn't speed up very much. It might actually cause confusion and require us to slow down in order to onboard them and things like that. So we've decided to stick with the team we have, and based on our MVP plan and our releases, we know that we're going to be ready by the end of December. So I don't think there's a way to really speed up. So we're not in a hurry to get the money. However, the sooner we get the money, the sooner we have the ability to hire marketing and other people in the middle level management and upper level management. Because right now I'm the CEO and the CTO, and my COO is also like the CMO. And we're kind of sharing like the CFO position as well. So there's a lot of high level things that are dependent on both of us, and that kind of slows us down from doing other things. So yeah, in terms of that, we're aware of the situation. We know of our competitors. We've done an analysis of all of them, and a lot of them have raised funds. So we know that there's potential. Where we're different from them, excluding the differentiator of the virtual office, my personal goal is to connect with all of the startup accelerators and VC firms and hubs around the world and get them to promote us with a free trial to all of their new companies. Because people that have established companies and the companies are somewhat developed and established as well as their culture, they're going to probably already be using a competitor like Slack. So if we get to them early enough, then eventually by the time the free trial runs out, they'll have the funding to start paying for us. So we want to kind of get them so early that Slack isn't even on their mind yet, or any of the other competitors.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I mean, if you ask my opinion, just based on the information I got from you, I would say you should probably do the fundraising as soon as possible. Because you already know that there is established, I mean, competitor. So the key is, I mean, you have to grab the market as soon as possible. And I mean, with funding, that's actually helps you to do the marketing faster. And more importantly, as you just mentioned, I mean, you can recruit, I mean, the high talent, the top talent into your company. Because every top talent that interviewed by you to be asked to be the CMO, the first question they will normally ask is, who's your investor, right? And I believe you have been asked so many times by during your interview already. So the key is, I mean, you need to attract the top talents to join your company, because as you mentioned, I mean, you do have competitors, and they are actually stronger than you, and you need to grab those entrepreneur or those target customers before actually they reach them. Otherwise, I mean, it's the first time. I mean, it's the first mover advantage, right? So once they set up and ask the employee to use one system, it's very, very difficult. I would say maybe being impossible for them to switch into other that possibly have a very similar features.
So there's no competitor that has all of the features that we have. Some of them have the file manager and the task manager and chat, but no Office. Some are just the Office, but nothing else. So we're basically putting together all of these different features natively ourselves and doing it in a way that's integrated so nicely and cleanly that it's really easy for anyone to use. And so when we talk to investors, we say our competitors are Slack and Microsoft Teams, because it's really hard to say that any of those other ones are true competitors. And so we focus on those two. My COO was really intent on us waiting to start talking to investors until we had the MVP ready. I think we should be talking to people earlier, but he thinks if the MVP is out, since we have the money, that we're not worried about it, that we can get a better valuation since we've passed the MVP stage, rather than we're building an MVP.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, but I mean, to be frank, I would say, I mean, I don't think it will be very difficult for Microsoft Teams to develop what you just said if they are aware there's a market, right? And for them, I mean, they probably got a very, very good resources, and they can do it in a relatively short time of period. So I think I mean here actually provide you a very keen window that for your company to grow. So once MS, I mean, they are aware that, I mean, they did it. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it will be very, very tough to your company. So my suggestion is you should talk to potential investor now, and as soon as possible. And because we all know that I mean the investment takes time. You will be really lucky if you can actually get the funding. I mean when your MVP is ready. Obviously, the valuation will be different. But I would say you probably put, I mean, some, I would say milestone. If I mean you deliver the MVP, I mean in whatever sense that I mean launch on December, and you find the first customers, let's say on February next year, then I mean they should give you a better valuation. You can always adjust the valuation. You can agree to a lower one right now, but if you actually achieve those milestones, and the VC investor or the PE investor actually they love you when you achieve those milestones, and they're willing to give you a higher valuation because I mean without the product, I mean sorry about that, but it's not worth a lot, right? Because at the end of you're selling your product. But I mean if you miss the window that you have right now, actually you will be a disaster.
Yeah, for sure. Is this something that your firm would be interested in, the remote workspace?
My day job actually we invest in the more on the PE industry, so we are more focused on a bigger one. But obviously, by all means, through FEW network, I mean we have a lot of different types of investors, and I mean you can obviously contact our account manager, I believe, that actually can help you through the whole journey.
Okay, great. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Sean, for joining us. So yeah, very different kind of questions today again.
Yeah.
So we have a few minutes to answer questions we're receiving comments. One that I think might be sadly relevant to many. What indicators should I use to determine if I should close my business or pivot? So I'm guessing this is a question from someone who's struggling now with the pandemic and what's happening, and they're looking for indicators. What to do?
I think I mean obviously closing a business is an easy decision in the sense that I mean if you have other alternatives, I think it's really case by case basis. I mean obviously you need to look at I mean what's your opportunity cost, and in reality I mean the funding can how much is the run rate and how long you can survive. I think business will be different. I mean, after the COVID, or I mean,
Even now.
yeah, even now. I mean, than before. I would say really examine your business model very tightly, and I mean, obviously, FEW is here to help, and and we think, I mean, I don't want to say too easily to ask you to close your business, because I know that you have already put a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of effort in your business. So before closing it, I mean, make sure you contact FEW,
For sure.
and we actually can hopefully give you a more all-rounded ideas, and help you to make the decision.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We have a question from one of our members who's actually in the service business. So she's running a creative agency and producing commercials. Meet you. She's really talented. Her problem is obviously that she's looking into scaling her business. Right now, her business model is actually much more based on freelancers. So she would get different deals, have freelancers. She has no employees, full-time employees. So she's wondering if it's a good time to actually invest in her business right now, given the pandemic and that advertising is a bit difficult. And if so, is it a good idea to hire talents? Because there's more talent in the market right now, and might be at a cheaper cost as well. But if she actually start hiring, she might not have enough cash for even paying herself. So she's really wondering how to grow on the long term and how to scale, really.
Right, I see. So I think I would say in this situation, lots of industry actually are suffering. But even within a suffering industry, there's winners and there's losers. So I mean, maybe even in the PR, in the advertising industry, there's some winners. So you really need to think of whether your business model actually get benefit from this environment, or you actually can modify your business model to get benefit. To capture the opportunity in this new situation. So it's very difficult to answer. I mean, whether you should or you should not. I mean, have more employees. But one thing I will ask, or I will challenge you, is think of, I mean, what's the bottleneck of your business right now? Is it because of the marketing, you don't have enough customers, or is it the production? Actually, you have more clients, but you are short-handed. So what's your bottleneck? And then, I mean, try to hire the employee actually can help you on the bottleneck, if possible. Or sometimes even you need to think out of the box. Maybe you need to find a partner that actually can help you, I mean, to solve the bottleneck issue. Because I mean, if this is a freelance marketing company, sometimes I presume actually getting business is probably the toughest part. So if you can hire someone that can give you a lot of business, you probably can hire them by only salary. Because if they can do it, I mean, they probably can be the entrepreneur herself or himself. So I mean, think a little bit out of the box. There's a lot of talents in today's market, and how to find a good partner and how to actually solve your bottleneck issue. That's probably will be the key.
Absolutely. We hope this helped, Min-Kyun. Another question I think that we hear quite often, and you're yourself an angel investor, so how do you contact angel investors to invest in your company? So how do you actually find them, approach them? What's the trick?
I would say maybe let use my own example, right? I mean, because I'm in the investment industry, so I mean, lots of friends, or I mean, a friend's friend actually knows that I'm in the investment industry, so they always give me the proposal. I mean, they always ask me for the advice on their startup. So that's why I got the chance to look at a lot of different startups and proposals. But I mean, on the flip side, I would say you just talk to your friends and family members or whoever that you know. I mean, when they ask you what you are doing, and then I mean, obviously you have some closer friends, and they know you for quite a while. They know, I mean, how good you are, and what your expertise is. And I mean, if you tell them enough information about your business, and you at the end, I mean, you just said, I mean, do you think anyone will be interested to look at it, or do you? I do have a funding. I mean, I'm doing a fundraising. Do you know anyone that are interested? I think I mean, no harm to ask, and also practice makes you perfect, right? So if you talk to your friends, I mean, 10 times about your business model, then actually you are thinking it 10 times more. And when you meet a potential investor, actually you can present it actually better than, I mean, before. So I think that's probably the ways to find the angel investor within your own social groups. And of course, FEW, right?
We are here, so reach out to us. We can look into your business and see if we can connect you with angel investors. So about VCs now. Are VCs still looking to invest during this time? Or are they fighting to keep their current portfolio protected? Is it harder to raise funds right now?
I would say for VC industry, I mean, lots of sizable VCs are actually still, I mean, looking for good projects. The reason is actually they've raised the fund already, right? So they have to invest. And I mean, it's part of their job, I mean, to find good companies. I mean, that actually don't really stop them. I mean, even in this environment, although maybe slow down a little bit on the due diligence side, on the, I mean, admin side, but still, I mean, they are looking for projects. So I think the key is really, I mean, how the entrepreneur actually can change or can modify their business model in this environment. And this actually shows very important characteristics of what VC is looking for an entrepreneur is, I mean, how flexible they are. Because, I mean, we all know that, I mean, the world is ever changing. So you can't stay or stop in one successful business model, especially for a small entrepreneur that I mean can go for a long time. So I mean, when things change, you need to have the flexibility to change your business model too.
Absolutely, innovation is key in entrepreneurship. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Claudius. I think, we keep on receiving loads of questions, but we're running out of time. So are you coming back on this live?
Yeah, I think so, and I hope so. I mean, if you give me better comments, maybe FEW will ask me to come back.
So you can continue ask your questions. We'll definitely invite Claudius again for this live. Don't hesitate to visit our website. We have tons of resources for entrepreneurs who are starting or scaling. And don't hesitate to get in touch with our team. We're always here to help. Thank you so much, and see you next Thursday.
Thank you.